Parents, what rule did your kid follow so well it actually scared you? When my son Jake was 8, I made a deal with him. You get $5 a week for allowance, but I'm never buying you toys, candy, or anything extra outside of birthdays and Christmas. If you want something, you save for it. My wife thought I was being ridiculous. He's 8, Marcus. Just buy him the toy. But I grew up broke. I mean, lights getting cut off broke. Nobody taught me about money until I was 25 and drowning in credit card debt. I wasn't going to let that happen to my kid. Jake took the deal seriously, like terrifyingly seriously. The first month, he wanted a $20 Lego set. He saved every dollar for 4 weeks. When he finally bought it, he held that box like it was made of gold. He built it slowly, carefully, and never lost a single piece. That set lasted longer than any toy we'd ever bought him. I figured that would be the whole lesson. Save up, appreciate what you earn. Done. Then I caught him doing something I didn't expect. One morning, I walked past his room and heard him talking to himself. He had a notebook open and he was writing numbers. I peeked in. He'd drawn columns, income, expenses, savings. He was tracking his money like a 40-year-old with a spreadsheet. He was 8. Where did you learn to do that? I asked. YouTube, he said. I looked up how to budget. My jaw hit the floor. But that was just the beginning. A few weeks later, his friend Devin came over crying. Devin's mom had told him they couldn't afford the class field trip to the science museum. It was $15. Jake got quiet for a minute. Then he went to his room and came back with his savings jar. He counted out $15 and handed it to Devin. Here, you should go on the trip. Devin stared at him. I can't take your money. Jake shrugged. You're not taking it. I'm investing. You're going to be a scientist someday, and you'll remember I believed in you. He was 8. I almost lost it right there. Devin went on the trip. His mom called me that night sobbing, asking how she could pay us back. I told her it was Jake's money and Jake's decision. But here's the part that still keeps me up at night. 2 months later, Jake came to me with a proposal, an actual written proposal. He wanted to start a lending library at school, not books, supplies, pencils, erasers, glue sticks, rulers. He'd noticed that some kids never had what they needed and would get in trouble for being unprepared. His plan was to buy supplies in bulk with his savings, lend them out for free, and set up a return box so the supplies would circulate. He'd calculated the startup cost. He'd made a list of what kids needed most. He'd even written a paragraph about why it mattered. The kid had a business plan at 8 years old. I funded the first round myself, $40 for supplies. Jake set up the lending station on a bookshelf his teacher, Mrs. Dawson, let him use. He made a sign that said, take what you need, return what you can. No shame, no blame. Within 2 weeks, every kid in class had used it at least once. Kids from other classes started asking about it. Mrs. Dawson emailed me and said Jake had solved a problem she'd been battling for years because kids who couldn't afford supplies would shut down and stop participating. The principal invited Jake to present his idea at a staff meeting. He stood in front of 30 teachers and explained his system. He was nervous, but he didn't back down. By the next semester, 4 other classrooms had lending stations. The PTA started funding them. A local news station did a segment on it. The reporter asked Jake, where did you get this idea? He said, my dad told me I had to buy my own stuff, so I figured out what stuff costs. Then I figured out that some kids can't buy anything, and that's not fair. The reporter looked at me. I was crying on local television. I set out to teach my son one thing. Money doesn't grow on trees. What he actually learned was how to see other people's problems and build systems to fix them. I taught him about dollars. He taught himself about dignity.